So in this video, I want to just go over a couple of things. I did a video about a week ago addressing the Fani Willis, unethical situation, alleged unethical situation that's been brewing in Fulton County with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. If you didn't watch my previous video, I suggest you do. But basically, she has paid this man over $654,000 over the past couple of years to prosecute this case against Donald Trump. He has no real prosecutorial experience with a case like this, with RICO or even any felony cases. And I just want to go over these three separate women. Two white women, one black woman. Of course, the black woman is his soon-to-be ex-wife if the divorce isn't already finalized. I don't think the divorce is finalized yet. And the other two women are U.S. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia and the attorney Ashley Merchant, who actually filed the paperwork alleging that Fani Willis and Mr. Nathan Wade have had an improper relationship over the past, I would say, almost 2 years now, according to the allegations. Absolutely remarkable what's happening, and she's getting it on three fronts. So I don't see how she's gonna come out of this without there being some type of consequences.
So she's got herself a boyfriend, allegedly, paid him $650,000, allegedly, took off for a couple of cruises, went to Napa Valley for a glass of wine, came back for a little fun in the sun in Florida, and now some people are saying, and some of the people who are under charges on this whole racketeering charge should be thrown out because of her bad behavior and the bad behavior of her so-called prosecutor, who's never prosecuted. And last point, Marjorie, before you, it turns out this guy was getting paid. This is a guy who's never prosecuted a ham sandwich. But it turns out part of his consulting payment was consulting with the Biden White House, okay? So there's another example of how they're pulling the strings on every single thing in their legal war against Donald Trump. Anyway, Fani Willis and her boyfriend, what's going on down there in Georgia?
Well, I'm so glad you asked me about it, Larry. I just got finished penning a letter to Governor Kemp and our Georgia Attorney General, Chris Carr, where I am asking for them to investigate for criminal investigations into Fani Willis and her boyfriend, Nathan Wade. I can tell you right now, I'm a lifelong Georgian, and we are sick and tired and fed up with Fani Willis using her Fulton County position and Fulton County tax dollars not to prosecute real criminals, but to go after Joe Biden's top political opponent, which is President Trump and other co-defendants in their entire effort to claim that we shouldn't care about elections when absolutely elections are one of the most important things we have in this country. And so I'm recommending criminal referral to Governor Kemp and Chris Carr against Fani Willis and her boyfriend. She's taking Fulton County taxpayer dollars and she's paying her boyfriend nearly $700,000 while he takes her on lavish vacations, not only in this country but internationally as well. You talk about pay to play. And then he is invoicing her office, which is the Fulton County taxpayers, saying that he somehow worked 24 hours in one day. I'm sorry, that is corruption, and that is an absolute lie. Not only that, he was sent up and he met with the Biden White House as he is planning to prosecute President Trump. We know exactly what this is. I'm calling on Governor Kemp and our Attorney General Chris Carr, investigate and prosecute Fani Willis and end this witch hunt immediately. It's outrageous.
So yeah, there you have it. That's Georgia Congresswoman from the 14th District, Marjorie Taylor Greene, demanding the governor and the Republican Attorney General investigate Fani Willis and prosecute her. Now you can go online and find the entire bill that Nathan J. Wade billed Fani Willis's office, totaling over $650,000. It's public records because it's taxpayer money that pays Fani Willis, so it's public records. And her hiring him is not illegal, but hiring him and you were sleeping with him and taking trips with him, and there's a potential that you were using taxpayer money for these trips through him, that can become very, very serious. And keep in mind that Nathan J. Wade filed for divorce right after he got hired on this case with Donald Trump by Fani Willis. Right after he got hired on this case, he filed for divorce. That's his wife, Jocelyn Wade. According to a recent report, she has moved to Texas. I don't know if she's from there. I don't know much about her background, but she's 49 years old. She was born in 74, so she'll be 50 this year. They were married for, I think, 26 years, and they have 2 adult children. And I find her to be a very attractive woman. I mean, I don't know how old those pictures are, but she's more attractive than Fani Willis. I mean, that's a subjective statement to make. Some people may think Fani Willis looks better, but most people I've talked to here in Georgia and online that I've seen don't know why he would leave his wife for Fani. And clearly, it's not because, you know, Fani Willis is a showstopper in the looks department. I personally believe that he sold his soul. He wanted to, you know, get that big payday, and I guess sleeping with Fani and doing whatever he had to do, taking all those trips, kind of secured the bag for him. And now it looks like it's going to be blowing up in his face. And Fani Willis's office is in jeopardy of losing this case because, like I said, it's unethical practices for her to be sleeping with somebody and then put him on the case. He has actually no experience prosecuting this type of, you know, charges. And as the old saying goes, hell knows no fear like a woman scorned. Jocelyn Wade's team has now subpoenaed Fani Willis to appear in court and testify about her alleged relationship with Nathan Wade.
Well, Fulton County DA Fani Willis will appear in a Cobb County courtroom tomorrow regarding the divorce case for her special prosecutor. Fox 5's Kim Leffler joins us from the live desk with more on what we can expect on that. Kim?
Well, Willis has been subpoenaed to be deposed in her special prosecutor Nathan Wade's divorce case. That was issued by Wade's ex-wife, Jocelyn Wade. This comes after Willis is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with Wade by one of the co-defendants in the election interference case. Michael Roman wants his case thrown out, claiming Willis and Wade had an inappropriate relationship before he was hired, saying they should not be allowed to prosecute because of it. Wade's ex-wife submitted bank records showing Willis and Wade took multiple trips together during the investigation into the Georgia election interference case involving former President Donald Trump. Willis filed an emergency motion Thursday asking the judge to stay her testimony in Wade's divorce case. In that emergency motion, Willis says she lacks unique personal knowledge of any matter that is relevant to the subject matter involved in the pending action, claiming Wade's marriage fell apart before she met him. In her motion, the DA also says Jocelyn Wade has conspired with interested parties in the criminal election interference case to use the civil discovery process to annoy, embarrass, and oppress District Attorney Willis. One legal expert I spoke to says it's unknown whether or not the judge will have Willis testify.
So Fani Willis is saying that the ex-wife is trying to annoy and embarrass and oppress her? Really, Fani? That's really, really rich for you to say. You're just saying that because you're in hot water. And in typical fashion, Fani Willis runs to the historic black church, Big Bethel AME Church. And you know, the elder blacks, that's right. Oh, yes, Lord. Yep. Oh, yes, Jesus. Oh, Lord. They all, you know, giggity and, you know, happy that Fani's there. But this don't have nothing to do with God. You got caught, and now you want to run to a old historic black church in Atlanta so you can feel safe to speak out.
In progress. I thought by 2024, as a 52-year-old woman, that certainly us humans would have gotten it together. That the cultural shift would have already taken place. I thought by now, well, we would all just be getting along. Boy, was I wrong.
I'm not going to play the whole church sermon that she gave. She was speaking for like 35 minutes, but you heard the typical old Negro, yep, that's right, yep, You know, that's her safe space, and the black church has been taken over by the Democrat Party. If you know, you know. As a black person from Georgia, from Atlanta, I've been to many black churches, and it's not even an Atlanta thing, it's all over the country. the black church and so-called black pastors, they are Democrat Christians now. The Democrat Party has taken over the black church. So Fonnie Willis is right at home, but the black church is not going to save you, Fonnie, because what you did was highly unethical. Now, is Fonnie Willis going to end up in prison behind this? I highly doubt it. But what's going to most likely happen is they're going to take the Trump case away from her, and they're probably going to move the case to another jurisdiction where they don't have these type of scandals in the forefront. You know what I mean? They're gonna take it to another venue. They might take it to Cobb County. They're not going to take it to DeKalb. DeKalb is just not going to happen. It's most likely going to be another suburban Atlanta county, but I doubt that it's going to remain in the city of Atlanta in Fulton County, because Fonnie and her dude Nathan Wade have just ruined it. And I don't know what the state attorney general is going to do, Chris Carr. They don't seem to be making a lot of noise about it, but that's another conversation for another video. So Fonnie Willis got the ex-wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife. She got a congresswoman and an experienced attorney all gunning for her head. And in a case like this, there's literally no room for error. She brought this upon herself by bringing in this guy that she obviously had the hots for. And, you know, both of them are wrong. I'm not here to point the fingers at either one of them. They're both wrong, because he was married. She's divorced. You know, sleeping with a married man is not a crime punishable by the law. But this situation is highly unethical. In the law industry, that's a big deal. So we'll see what happens. I don't know how fast things are going to unfold, but I will continue to monitor the situation. And at the very least, I do hope that Fonnie Willis does get this case taken away from her, because she doesn't deserve to prosecute it. The case is bogus anyway. Not saying it just because I support Trump, but it just doesn't make sense. And she knows it. She's doing this out of greed and the lust for power and notoriety. This is a very self-aggrandizing endeavor that she's been embarking on, and she's not going to get what she was hoping for. And she's her own worst enemy in this whole situation. So appreciate y'all watching. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.